An NBA insider just dropped a critical piece of information when it involves the Kevin Durant sweepstakes and KD moving on from Phoenix and to a new team, and it involves the Cleveland Cavaliers. Hey everybody, Billy BB back with you on Cavs Digest, bringing you some semi-breaking news, a new interest in the Kevin Durant to Cleveland sweepstakes, something different to talk about when it comes to this. Excited to be with you. It's going to be a busy off season for you, and today's video is a great example of something that we talked about earlier. Matt did a video, I think like a week and a half ago, and everybody kind of was like, oh, clickbait. Well, we get some confirmation now from Brian Windhorst that it's not clickbait. It's something worth discussing and new details. So we're going to jump into that. As always, subscribe. We've already talked trades. We've talked coaching changes. I just broke down the Darius Garland injury more for you yesterday, so feel free to check that out and get involved with that. So much is going to happen with the Cavs this offseason. I can really feel it. Whether it's anything that actually comes to fruition, a trade, a signing, another coaching change, or just things surrounding this team that they're constantly rumored to be in. So you want to keep up, you want to keep with us. So, as I said, Matt put out a video about a week and a half ago that the Cavaliers were one of the teams interested in Kevin Durant, right? And I think a lot of people immediately were like, this is just clickbait. Cavs aren't interested. Cavs aren't a part of it. Well, Brian Windhorst, we're going to watch the video in just a second, kind of confirmed and had something important to say about the Cavaliers' involvement. Now, what he says in this video, it's going to take a lot of breaking down. We're also going to get a surprise guest at the end of this video, so stick around for that. We're going to debate whether you want Kevin Durant on the Cavaliers, also what you'd be willing to give up for him, all that. So let's jump right into it with the video.
Is there any chance the Cavs are in any way involved in a Kevin Durant conversation as Kevin Durant is trying to find his new home?
I don't think they're involved now.
But?
I don't think they're involved now.
Are you talking to get Kevin Durant or be maybe one team in a three-team trade that involves Kevin Durant?
I don't think they're involved now.
When is there a timeline as to when you think they could be involved?
I don't think they're involved now.
Okay. I want to follow up with more, but I'm guessing I'm going to get the they're not involved now. Noted. Okay. Something for Cavs fans to pay attention to.
Windy really playing his cards close to the vest when it comes to the Cavaliers' involvement there. So immediately I'll ask you, what did you take from not right now? Not now, he says about the Cavaliers' involvement. That can mean one of two things, okay? So number one, when Windhorst kind of talks about it there, it's A, the Cavaliers were involved in talks with the Suns, whether to be in the Kevin Durant sweepstakes or, as Chris Oldak of ESPN Cleveland mentioned there, a third team, which when the Cavaliers get involved as a third team, they tend to come out winners on that. So we'll keep that in mind. But or was it he believes down the road when the things heat up, when we're into the offseason, when more dominoes drop in NBA free agency, the Cavaliers, then they'll get involved. So what did that mean to you, what Windy had to say as far as not now or not right now? But do you think they were involved and are out, or still waiting to get involved and Windhorst thinks they are one of the teams? I think that's interesting to break down there. Another interesting part of this, in my opinion, is, like I said, you guys believed it was clickbait. A lot of people were just throwing it away. Things like this happen. Cavaliers get involved in these conversations. We've had many things over the years that I think a lot of people didn't quite believe that the Cavaliers were involved or looking at or trying. You know, you go back to Paul George trades, Kyrie Irving trades. I mean, a lot of people thought it was crazy. Then we learned later on that the deals were set, the deals were lined up, and just didn't pull through. So I fully believe that the Cavaliers are in the mix. Now, look, is there a deal on the table, and it's up to the Suns to decide, and Durant said this or that? I don't know, and we don't know yet. And, we don't even know if they were involved or are going to be involved. So, again, I think this is a good example of why you stay tuned, why you follow along, and the information we can kind of give you here on Cavs Digest as things break and happen and whatnot. So back to the Durant conversation.
The Cavs are
shut this down. Back to the Durant conversation. Really interesting stuff as far as, do you want Kevin Durant on the Cleveland Cavaliers? I think he has a very, very interesting legacy within the NBA. He clearly has come to a point now where he is a walking red flag. And the talent, the all-time scorer, the champion aspect of Kevin Durant is gone. It's gone. All people can think about, and rightfully so, is forcing his way to Golden State, well, leaving in free agency, but going to Golden State, forcing his way to Brooklyn, forcing his way to the Suns, and now forcing his way one way or another. Now, he did want to finish the season, so I'll give him credit for that, but he now wants out of Phoenix. So I think that idea, and rightfully so, I don't love it. I think it's a bad look for him, and I do think it's diminished his legacy. It has hurt him in the minds of many people. Okay? And this is an all-time player, as I said, maybe the smoothest, most efficient, go-get-a-bucket guy, whether it be to the inside or a shooter. And I just think that legacy has really been lost in the sauce. So for me, I'm trying my best when considering acquiring Kevin Durant to keep in perspective the scorer, the NBA vet, the guy that has the respect of so many players, rather than he's forcing his way out of really a third straight team. That's my personal opinion. Now, I know people disagree, right? I saw in Matt's video a lot of people drop down in the comments. We've seen a ton on Twitter about people, they want no part of it. And the trades, when people do want him on the Cavaliers, it just doesn't work. Right? It just doesn't work. They have to do so much. And that's the other thing for me is one of the things I personally think has gone wrong for Kevin Durant, whether it be mainly in Brooklyn and Phoenix, is the trades to get him. Actually, I think he signed in Brooklyn. He signed in Brooklyn. Phoenix especially, I'll say, though. Phoenix, your team got wiped out trading for him. Wiped out. You gave up so many players that it just completely wiped out the Phoenix Suns. The assets they gave, both to get Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal, it wiped them out. It completely wiped them out. So for the Cavs, and I look at these wild fake trades involving the Cavs, I mean, this would devastate your team. The guys that you would have to give up in these instances are crazy. You would have to move on from Max Strus. You would have to move on from a lot of guys that make up your team. Right now you're okay with Okoro and Wade, but when you get down to the nitty gritty, to have Kevin Durant at his age, with his injuries, with his attitude, you would have to give up a good chunk of your team. You really would be down to most likely Mitchell, Mobley, Durant, and some serious fill-ins. I mean, you'd be at the point where you're signing and playing PJ Tucker, right? Where you're looking overseas to get guys back. It would be that kind of situation. It really would be. So you can drop down in the comments. I said there'd be a surprise guest. It is you. That's the surprise. We need you down in the comments. This is one of those videos where I want to gauge people's interest, how they felt about the Windy report, what they thought he said, and if Kevin Durant is worth the Cavaliers going out, getting, and adding to this roster, compromising the roster to get Kevin Durant. Let us know down in the comments. We'll have more for you on Cavs Digest.